It's a wet day, and it could be a funny run race, as you mentioned. If it was that sort of scenario, he could be the one poking through, getting the cheap runs from an inside draw.
You agreed, Dwayne?
Yeah, I think so. I'd probably like to think that Danny O'Brien and Damien have been beaten the other day, so I reckon this horse will have a bit of a different training regime going into this race. I think it was probably a good thing. It's a bit like a footy team that's been going exceptionally well. Get beaten when they expect to win. I think they'll put a lot more pressure on him. Just whether he's actually fully seasoned enough for a, Cox played at this high pressure, but, they'd like to go on after this, and, I think they will screw him down for today.
Is there still an element of a kid on a man's mission with Russian Camelot, with all we know about him and his immaturities? Is that what, if he gets rolled, could that be the factor that rolls him?
Could be, but with every run he's probably learning, and as Dwayne said, he's probably had that was the run in between that he wasn't necessarily going to have at one stage. He was going to go underwood straight to the Cox plate, so he's had that run, ticked him over, and now we're getting to the screw him right down for the today and then the Melbourne Cup. So you'd hope that mentally and physically he's tuning right in.
Dino Aspetar interests me now. He's a horse that can get a strong 2,400 metres.
He can, he gallops out well. I just wonder if the vagaries of the Valley are going to actually suit him. Not many. I don't think there's many in this year's Cox Plate I'd say that about, but he seems to, on those long extended straights when he races, really gallop out, and that's where his strength comes from. Is a good straight line speed, and you often don't get that as much at the Valley.
There's one punter just had 2,000 each way at 50-1 on Miami Bound to win the Melbourne Cup, and she's now into $51 and $13.50. So there you go. She was at 100-1 now into $34, I should say, after a punter had 2,000 at 50-1.
Have we got time to do a horse by horse now that we're getting closer and closer? Should we have a real good look at this race now, horse by horse?
5 minutes to Sydney, so
maybe.
Yep. Well, let's do it quickly because Dino might have to go and Dwayne. So if we do a couple of quick ones, and if we don't get through them, what about just can they win? Yes and no's. Hawley, should we start with the top? Colding, yep. Dean.
Probably not. No, I think he's going really well. I think James Donald's got him going beautifully. I just wonder if he's quite good enough.
Winksy?
No.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I agree with Dean.
I agree with Dwayne, who agrees with Dean.
All right, and Humidor, Dino?
Good place chance. Don't know if he can win, but he knows the territory. He's a tough old horse. He could run a place.
Yes.
Can win.
Yep.
Dwayne?
Yeah, he can run on and be there at the finish for sure.
If there's a shock result and it's an attrition race, he might be the one. Yeah, I'm starting to warm to him a little bit.
Fierce Impact, can he run a strong 2,000? Dean?
It'll be interesting where he gets to the first 200-300 metres. I would have loved him to have a low draw, cheap run, and I'd be saying yes. Just wonder where he's going to get to from the draw.
No for me.
Good enough but bad map for me.
Dwayne?
Good enough. Distance, I don't think is as big a concern as everyone thinks it is.
A tick for you for Master of Wine, Dino?
A little tick. If there was a blowout winner, I haven't got him in my numbers, but if there was a knockout winner and there's a 40-1 winner, he'd be the one I'd nominate.
No.
Last man standing scenario gives him a little pokey chance.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so.
Do you give Mugger a pokey chance, Dino?
Not quite. He's a good horse, but this is another level again.
Best roughie.
Pokey place.
Dwayne?
No for Dwayne as well. This last horse we'll take a look at here because we're going to go to Chris Beaumont with the Bondo not far away. Aspetar. Roger Charlton prepares the English galloper here in the Cox Plate, Dino.
He does, as I said. I just wonder if the Valley's going to be the ideal track for him. He's quite a capable horse, and he can build a good speed, but I just wonder if it's the right track for him.
I'd say yes, off his work the other morning.
I reckon he'll flop.
Yeah, I'm saying no at the Valley.
All right, then. Dano, I think you've got commitments, but we'll catch up with you before the Cox Plate. Also, throughout the week, we might hear from James McDonald. He takes the ride on Colding, and this is what James had to say about the Sydney Siders' chances in this year's Cox Plate. He's been in wonderful form with Chris Waller preparing this galloper. Before we hear from James McDonald, do you give him a chance around the Melbourne wave going?
No, to be honest, I don't think so. I think he's back in form. I would be surprised if he wins the Cox Plate.
Let's hear from James McDonald.
Yeah, 100%, Gareth. The horse is airborne. He's dead set flying, and I wouldn't worry too much reading into the Melbourne form to Sydney form. Obviously, he's done most of his racing in Sydney, but he's just a very good horse on his day. He ticked the 10th on box last start, so he's definitely a runner's chance, and I was very excited of riding him on good ground, so hopefully the rain does stay away, but he'll definitely give us sight, and looking forward to riding him.
Yep. Well, he doesn't get that wish, James. What about Matthew Smith? And you caught up with Matty, I think yesterday, Michael, about the chances of Fierce Impact. We'll catch up with Matty Smith in just a moment. 2,000 metres, I guess, is the question mark for Fierce Impact, but he's been a big drifter in the market. Here's Matty Smith.
You know, he's the odds he is because people are unsure about him. Look, I've sort of always felt that 2,000 is be a perfect trip for him. Whether or not, you know, he can do it at weight for age this level, and if the track chops up in a soft track, we don't know. That's the big unknown, but certainly he's always been strong. Super strong in his mile races, and that generally gives you an indication. If you can run those strong miles, you know, generally that gives you a good indication that he'll run a good 2,000. You know, those miles at Randwick and the miles at Flemington are almost the ones that are run at a really good tempo. I like 2,000 metre races. So, you know, I feel confident he'll run the trip. I've got confidence in the horse, and he's just going so well. I think he'll get his opportunity.
And James Wink's best roughing mugger too. Let's hear what Chris Lees has to say about his chances in the WS Cox Plate.
Look, I'm really happy with the horse. You know, that Joe, the track's ideal for him. He's had a couple of looks at the track. He's pleased with everything he's done. It's certainly a big ask to come from a Metropolitan to a weight for age Cox Plate. But I'm really pleased with the horse. He'll appreciate a 3-week drop and a drop back to 2,000 metres. So there's some positives, and we'll find out if he's got the class for a race like this.
Ben James is the foreman for Roger Charlton. He's looking after Aspetar, the English galloper in the Cox Plate. Let's hear from Ben.
I think so. He's on his career high mark. He seems to be improving every run, sort of through the back end of last year when he won his Group 1 in Germany, having already won a Group 2 in France, and then so he's at the peak of his powers when he won at York the last day, and now he's officially rated 118, which puts him right up there in sort of the top tier. And no, I think he's only getting better as he's a European 5-year-old or an Aussie 6-year-old, so it's exciting.
So that is, of course, the foreman there for Roger Charlton stable there, Dave Smith. Okay, let's have a listen to Danny O'Brien about Russian Camelot.
Look, I understand why people talk about barrier draws, because there's not much left to talk between now and the race. But I think we drew 22 in the Melbourne Cup last year, and it was the same thing. You know, you're asked for comment because we need something to fill the space. But barriers are a much overrated or over-discussed factor of why horses win and don't win races. You don't have to worry about how it's going to pan out if you've got an outstanding rider on a horse, and yeah, we've certainly got that.
Coolmore's represented by Armoury in this year's Cox Plate. The boss of Coolmore in this country is Tom Magnier, and this is what Tom has to say about their galloper.
Very good. TJ is obviously very happy with the horse. He's good. So, yeah, listen, obviously we've come a long way, and, you know, it's the 100 running of the Cox Plate, and, you know, we just couldn't be any more excited about it, and we're just delighted. But the horse is in good order. I think they're saying they had around 20 mils, if that's right, overnight.
Yep.
So, you know, you know, hopefully that shouldn't bother him too much. I don't think, I think the ground should be okay for him. So, yeah, we just need a bit of luck on the day.
Can Karen McAvoy win the Cox Plate with Probabeel?
I just like this mare. I've ridden her a fair bit. I've ridden her a heap of times and either won or run second in her. So
I do feel that she's gone to a new level this time. She's a lovely, big, strong mare. I think weight for age is no problems for her. 2,000 metres is no problem. She's only ran it once, but she was narrowly beaten in a Group 1 binary on some rain-affected ground. I just like the form that she's in. I worked at in Sydney, Melbourne direction last Friday, and she was in good form, nice sharp work. She travelled down and Patrick Payne gave her a look around the valley, which she looked to move well around there, which is promising. So she ticked that box, and pretty pleased to be on her. You know, she gets, being a 4-year-old mare, she gets a little bit of a weight relief off of some of those older horses and the boys, which will help obviously. But I'm excited about it. She's draw barrier 2. Will that be a good barrier come Cox Plate time with the predicted rain? I'm not sure, but we'll have to deal with it.
And Kieran Maher on the 3-year-old's chances at Grand Slam.
He's just improved with each run. He's developing as a horse. Everyone would have said the same about Seamus Award getting into a Cox Plate and integrity of the race and all that. He's got the form on the board. It's the right form, and the 3-year-olds have just got a super record in this race of either winning or placing. So, and given his pedigree, 2,000 and beyond should only be to his liking.
So we've just heard from all of the major players, basically, Michael. What about your tip in the Cox Plate?
Oh, to be honest, I'm a little confused. I thought if it was a good track, Arcadia Queen, I thought she was almost a good thing after watching her work at Moonee Valley on Tuesday. I think Armory is my second selection with Russian Camelot now that it's wet, but then there's the question mark over that vet test with Armory, and the question mark over Russian Camelot is what run will it get? I think the X factor in the blowout could be Humidor. They're the 4 I'm working around. Winksy?
Yeah, I'm a sticking with me, man. Russian Camelot. It's just going to all depend on how the race unfolds. But if it unfolds and he gets the right run, I think he'll be hard to beat, especially with the sting out. I was Arcadia Queen until the rain come. I think, obviously, Sir Dragon, it'll run well, and I think Magatu's the best outsider.
You've had a look at them in the mounting yard. Did any of them catch your eye?
Oh, they all...
Arcadia Queen went out early.
Yeah, she did, and he went the wrong way around.
Yeah, Wixie tapped me on the shoulder and said, he said something, I said, what? He goes, he's going the wrong way.
Well, when you come out to the Cox Plate start, you head to the left, he's gone to the right. But
Can they order her as a late scratching because he went the wrong way, just to make life easier?
No, I wouldn't.
What I notice is they're all... Good horses are big and round and strong, aren't they? I see a lot of slow horses around the places I get to, but gee, they're all big, round, strong horses, aren't they? Every single one of them.
Yeah, correct.
Nick Quinn joins us. Dwayne Dunn's not far away as either, and Dean Lester will join us once again. Quinny, what's happening with the market for the Cox Plate?
Well, Tab is now standing the favourite Russian Camelot for the debt of a full nation. We spoke about that bet of 10,000 at 380 prior to race number 8 on the program. Another punter's chimed in with 10,000 at 360. He's gone 360, 340, and now all the way down to 330. Remember, he was still $4.60 on Thursday afternoon. Arcadia Queen, who got as short as $4.60 after that really good win in the Caulfield Stakes, has now eased all the way out to $8 today from $6.50. Probably on the third line of betting at 9 and has been solid at that quote. Armory $9.50, Colding $13, Humidor $14, Sir Dragonet a $14 chance. Grand Slam's got right back out, got as short as $15, now all the way back out to $23 to win and $6.50 to place. And Master of Wine has firmed again, 41 into 34 and now 34 into 31. A terrific betting race. Russian Camelot, he's been a bit of a yo-yo up and down in terms of the betting odds over the last couple of weeks, but the strong money has arrived on race day.
Dwayne Dunn, your thoughts, your numbers here?
Well, Russian Camelot, if he had a won the other day, he would have easily been 250 the whole way through. So if he got that run, that's where he's at. Armory, I really love this horse as far as class. I just wish I didn't see any vision or the vet wasn't a problem there. I think he would just pick them up and spit them out. And I think the real roughie of the race might be Buckhurst on the quick backup.
All right, Dano, what did you think of these horses parading for the great race?
Yeah, geez, he was the one that really impressed me, Buckhurst. I thought he just looked a better composed. I think the blinkers off. And I love the horses on the Caulfield Cup back up from last week, and there's 2 of them, and they usually run pretty well. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Buckhurst ran well. He was on that caught my eye in the yard. But on with Armory, I think I'm just backing in that he's right, and if he is, he'll be hard to beat. Russian Camelot, I thought, really good composure from him. I'm a fan of Grand Slam, and you mentioned Arcadia Queen. I think he just wanted to give her a good warm-up and a good look around the track. He was hell-bent on going the other way. So she's had a very good warm-up for the race. Interested to see if she handles the ground, because if she does, she's in the conversation.
Here's Grant Williams, the trainer of Arcadia Queen.
It's going to be okay today. She's got the bar shoes off, normal plates on. I think that's going to help.
And what are the tactics from Willie? How do you ride her in this Cox Plate? So many speed maps, so much discussion.
Yeah, look, not much. He has a plan. I don't like to sort of interfere too much, but so he'll aim to have 4 or 5 behind him and then stalk him and see if we can't get over him at the end.
Where's Alana watching, and where's the rest of the family and Mr. Peters and the team? Tell us about it.
I think they'll all be at the races. The parents and all that are at home. They're going to do it at home, and the rest of them at the races.
And the build-up's been unbelievable. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a little bit nervous. It's been different, but something we've really soaked up and really enjoyed.
It'd be very different with a huge crowd here. That might make you a little bit even over the top.
Yeah, probably just let me down a little bit easier with no crowd here. It's good.
Okay, where are you going to watch it? Where's the vantage point? Just a little place just on your own?
Yeah, just down the road there a little bit, just as a spark, man, so we'll be right.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
How are you, Matty? Because this is your financial opportunity to get out of the mine.
No, not overly. No, a bit clammy of hand, I've got to say. I just want to see her get every chance, but I just want to see a great race. Forgetting about my little side story in the race, I just want to see a great Cox play. I don't want to see too many hard luck stories. I want to see them all out and running, and best horse wins.
Dwayne, a bit of wind watching the vision of racing.com. Do you think that'll play any part today, or not really?
No, I don't think it's really going to play an effect on the result. I think it's more what happens to the post the first time. Hopefully not too many of these get punched up. They find formation without too much issues, and gives every horse, as we say, everyone the opportunity to show their best on, the best 2 minutes of sport.
I think everybody gets a little nervous, Dino, because it's the Cox Plate. There's been such that build-up, the anticipation. We talk about this race for months before they jump in this great race, and there's so many wonderful storylines for nearly every runner.
Yeah, and I've got to say that probably not so much at Caulfield, I didn't notice it, but the lack of crowd today at Moonee Valley, it's been quite noticeable, and that's part of the great Moonee Valley atmosphere. I think Cox Plate Day is the best day to go. The crowd are up close, and it's a magnificent atmosphere, and hopefully we're back there next year.
Winksy, last word from you.
He's gone. He likes the Dragonade to run a hole. He likes Russian Camelot as the favourite.
And Dunny, what's going through these jockeys' minds now? We saw Willie Pye go with the clerk of the cause after pulling up Arcadia Queen. Are they talking to their horses? What's the process here?
Well, I like to go for a little bit of a walk on your own, take a deep breath, try and show the horse that you're not nervous, and you've got confidence in them, and you want to bond together. You don't want to be showing them any nerves because they think there's something coming that they don't really want to be in. So I think it's a matter of just taking a deep breath now, just thinking about how this race is going to unfold. If plan A, B or C were ever dealt to you, which way you're going to handle that. And this is a real time where everyone gets very quiet, gets into their shell, and they usually start to get a little bit restless in the barriers because your horses know that you're nervous. They know the big event, and this is the big dance. So they've just got to try and relax and make sure that they get through loading process into the barriers, deep breath, gates crash open, and then find your position.
You got Dwayne was with Happy Trails. Did you go into that race at this moment thinking you're a real chance going into the race? Did you have a high degree of confidence that day?
Yeah, I certainly did, and I was really confident. The horse was going extremely well. I just got held up by another runner getting into the home bend, and I couldn't get clear. So when I did break out of the pack, Seamus Award was off and gone, but I got really close to him on the wire. It was one of those that Bob could have gone either way, and it makes a difference to your life. And yeah, if I wasn't sort of trying to burst my way through and getting held up at the 600, I definitely win the race. So, yeah, it's one of those races where if you've got a 50-1 chance, you're just wanting it to run well and run, top 5, top 6. But when you're on the favourite, the whole game changes, the nerve level goes up, and you're under the spotlight. Everyone else is looking for you in the run as well, so you don't get any free kicks.
All right, boys, last question before we throw up. Ollie, forward or back, Dwayne?
I'm hoping he goes forward.
Dino?
Yeah, I think he's got to go forward. I think it's his best chance.
Here we go. Cox Plate 100. Can't wait for this. Let's head to our caller, Matthew Hill.
So we're on starting time here. We're on starting time, and the clerk of the course is with Arcadia Queen at the moment. She just wants to back away. In fact, both clerks of the course are over there. Arcadia Queen just getting a little bit stirred up before they move into the stalls here for the Ladbrokes Cox Plates. Willie Pike had her out there nice and early, probably, I'd say, 10 minutes before advertised starting time. And she just doesn't want to budge at the moment. Arcadia Queen, she's over at about the 250 marker, just underneath the legend sign over there on the point of the turn. And now she's just quietly trotting forward. Moving in. Master of Wine is the first one forward, ridden by Michael Rodd, who won this race 12 years ago on Maldivian. For Team Hawks, Master of Wine is in. Probabeel in the stalls. Mugger 2 joins them. Colding takes barrier number 9. Aspetar in the stalls. Grand Slam, the 3-year-old, goes forward for Jai McNeil with the 49.5 kilos. Buckhurst is in. Natoya, who's the outsider. It's been with the clerk of the course for some time, that 7-year-old mare. It's being settled by the clerk at the moment. Arcadia Queen, she's just a little on her toes here. They wanted to bring her forward, but she wants to back away, and she's about to back into the running rail if she is not careful. Just getting a pat from the attendant, just trying to keep her settled. Russian Camelot, of course, has had issues in the stalls previously as well. Probably a blessing in disguise that there's no crowd here to stir him up. Damien Oliver, the history maker here, riding in the race for the 20th time, the first jockey to do so. Sir Dragonet goes into barrier number 6 for Glenn Boss, the winner of the race 3 times. Humidor goes up out wide for Craig Williams, winner of the race twice. So we're just about right. Russian Camelot to take an outside Ellie, and Arcadia Queen to take the middle stall. Arcadia Queen with Willie Pike coming up to barrier number 7. Goes in. And Russian Camelot to go into barrier number 14. Mugger 2 stands well. Armory in barrier number 5 standing peacefully. Russian Camelot now being brought forward for Damien Oliver. Takes the outside. And for the 100th time, they are set for the Ladbrokes Cox Plate. And they're racing. Aspetar away fairly. Grand Slam out well with Probabeel. Master of Wine behind those. Colding. Russian Camelot's coming over. Would be 5th at the moment. Colding got to 3rd. Buckhurst 4th. And 5th Russian Camelot wider. Then came Armory, Master of Wine. Next in the field, Mugger 2. And they were followed by Aspetar. Back in the field, Sir Dragonet, Arcadia Queen, Fierce Impact, Humidor. And Natoya is last. 1,600 metres to go. And it's Grand Slam, the 3-year-old, leading by a length and 3/4. Probabeel. Russian Camelot got over 3rd, one off the fence outside of Colding. Then came Buckhurst, Master of Wine. A length and a half away, Armory, and then came Sir Dragonet. Next in the field out deeper is Mugger 2, Aspetar, Humidor. 3rd last, Arcadia Queen, Fierce Impact, and at the end is the Bolton Natoya. To the back section, 1,200 to go, and it's Grand Slam for Jai McNeil, bowling out by 2 lengths. 2nd, Probabeel, a length and a quarter away to Colding 3rd, and the speed is okay. Russian Camelot 4th, a length and a half, Master of Wine, Buckhurst. 2 lengths away on the inside, next Sir Dragonet, and then came Armory, a length and a half, Mugger 2, Aspetar, Humidor. Arcadia Queen 3rd last from Fierce Impact, and 2 lengths Natoya. So it's Grand Slam, 800 metres to go, looking to do it all with the lightweight by 2 lengths Probabeel. A length and a quarter away to Colding 3rd. Russian Camelot every chance, 2 lengths to Armory, hooking deeper with Mugger 2. Then came Buckhurst, Master of Wine, Sir Dragonet. Arcadia Queen tracking into it, 6 off the lead. Then Aspetar under pressure from Fierce Impact up on the fence. Natoya Humidor well back. Russian Camelot lets down now. Moves up on the outside and takes the lead with Probabile. Armory joining in and Mugger 2 around the outside. Russian Camelot has a fight on his hands. Armory takes the lead. Mugger 2 going with it. Sir Dragonet running on and Probabile the fence in the straight at the 150. It's Armory. Sir Dragonet coming at Armory. Armory and Sir Dragonet. Sir Dragonet takes the lead, coming clear and joins a century of legends. Sir Dragonet for Bossy won the Cox Plate from Armory. Russian Camelot fought the photo. Mugger 2 and Arcadia Queen from Probabile. A great race. Then came Fierce Impact, Master of Wine, Buckhurst Grand Slam, Humidor, Colding, Natoya and Aspetar amongst the tail enders. He's done it again, Bossy. Glenn Boss and Sir Dragonet for Kieran Maher and David Eustace. Bossy wins it for the 4th time. He won with Maccabi Diva, So You Think, and Ocean Park. And just crept into the race. It was on from the 600 metres. We had Russian Camelot letting down, but Armory was right there on the spot. But stalking them all the way was Sir Dragonet, who settled 4th last, but just stalked his way into the race. Sir Dragonet with a spectacular win at $8.90 and $3.10. It's an international win in the Ladbrokes Cox Plate. Defeats Armory, Ben Mellum for Aidan O'Brien. The internationals have run 1-2. Russian Camelot loses nothing in defeat. Damien Oliver for Danny O'Brien ahead of Mugger 2. What a run, Mugger 2 at $22 or thereabouts. Johnny Allen for Chris Lees ahead of Arcadia Queen. Willie Pike for Grant and Alana Williams. The placings on the Ladbrokes Cox Plate 7, 12, 11 and 5. 5th 9. 2:08.46 the race time. 7, 12, 11 and 5 to the Ladbrokes Cox Plate.
So Sir Dragonet wins the 100th running of the WS Cox Plate, and Glenn Boss wins his 4th for Kieran Maher and David Eustace. Wonderful ride. James Winks, congratulations. He can take a bow too. He's done all of the work on this galloper leading up to this year's WS Cox Plate. Kieran Maher and David Eustace, what a season they've had, and they celebrate their first Cox Plate victory. We'll be hearing from Glenn Boss in just a moment. Of course, Bossy, has there been ever a better big-time rider than Glenn Boss? And we'll catch up with Bossy now. He's talking with Chris Simons.
Yeah, good boy. Well, Bossy, there's been 100 Cox Plates. You've now won 4 of them. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is... Oh, my God, this is unbelievable, because I've just... You know, as a young boy, I used to watch a VCO at Kingston Town, Manikato, and I wore that out, so the Cox Plate was ingrained into my psyche from a young boy, and it's a special race. And, yeah, listen, it's just... I just couldn't have scripted the run any better. He just gave me a lovely ride, and Chrissy, I was just twitching my fingers throughout the race, and he was there for me. I thought this is going to be nearly winning this, because he was up for the task, you know. So, there's so many people I got to thank, you know, Ozzy and all the boys, you know. They just, I was obviously with Huey Bowman. I feel sorry for Huey, sorry mate, but I got the call up, and you know, and Huey was part of that. They put up a few names, and Huey was right. He backed me. He said, put Bossy on, and thank God I got the job. Obviously,
a lot goes on behind the scenes. James Winks riding in work. You've those internationals.
I have to mention James. Yeah, I've been in constant contact with James, and you know, James is an incredible judge, and he's going to be very good on TV when he gets going, because he's got so much to bring. He's very intelligent and articulate, and he never minced words with his horse. He told me straight up how it was, because, you know what I mean, I didn't want to hear any fluffy stuff. He told me exactly how it was, and you know what, he was spot on to the tee. And you know, to Kieran, the whole team, yeah, I mean, and Kieran was very confident with this horse. You know, speaking to him this morning and last night, he was really confident, and I was confident. I really thought once the rain come, you know, this is the right horse. You know, he's got great form. He actually was just starting to get warmed up towards the line, this horse. He was actually getting quicker just near the post. So, the way he gave me a feel today, he might be running in the Melbourne Cup and might be running very well in one, I tell you.
And what was that feeling like at the 600 when things started opening up for you? You needed luck, and it just happened.
Well, like I said to you, Chris, he was there for me every time I just moved me pinky. He was waiting for me to ask him for a real command. So I just knew that all I had to do was just ask him when I got clean air, and the run come, and he was very strong through the line. Listen, this is a really proud moment for me. It's, you know, like I said, growing up and watching this race, to think now that I've joined Babe Thompson and Huey Bowman as the most winning jockeys of this race, a race that I just love and cherish. I love and cherish this place, to be honest. And to my wife Sloane, who's at home watching. Oh my God, sweetheart, we done it again. You know, this is for my wife and my two kids. They've had to put up with a lunatic in the last couple of years, and gee boss, and you know, I've settled down in the last 12 months, but sweetheart, I swear to God, this is just for you and Tate and Carter. This is so special for us, sweetheart. Oh, I can't wait to get home and see this all.
We'll go and lap it up.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Chris. It's a great moment, mate.
Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace are WS Cox Plate champion trainers. Congratulations, Kieran. An unbelievable thrill for you.
Yeah, it is. It's really unbelievable. I just can't thank Ozzy and Phil and John O'Neill and all the rest of the owners, Bray, Daggers. I've probably missed a few, but O'Neill. One, giving us the opportunity to train a horse of this calibre. You don't see that sort of form in this part of the world that much, and I just can't thank them enough. Also, Dave's brother Harry and his father James, they looked after him on the at Newmarket. Here he comes.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. There's no bigger race man than Bossy. So the owners made the right call there with the right jock, and he got the job done. So, the team have done a great job. I just mentioned James and Harry Eustace looked after him over there, and then the girls out here, we had Romy and Anna, and they've just done a super job with him, and just the whole team. It's a Cox Plate. I don't think it's really sunk in yet, but you grow up watching these races, and to knock one off, it's pretty special. So
it's incredible, mate. I know you're emotional, and you deserve to be, because this is a race that, like other great races, but this one in particular, you grew up and just watching all the champions win.
Yeah, that's right. And to think, you get a horse of this calibre, I've looked after him for a bit over 2 weeks, but he's just phenomenal. He never missed a note. We're very confident with his fitness, and God, Cox Plate's unbelievable.
And for Dave Eustace, your partner, you guys are like a dynamic duo. You look like you really complement each other perfectly.
Yeah, he's great, But, Dave, he's a very hard worker. He's a young bloke, and obviously, we gel well together. But the whole team, really, that's a big operation. I've got my brother up in Ballarat. We've got the Sydney stable, and, I better give my mum and dad a shout out too. My brothers, Romy and Anna, and they've just done a super job with him, and just the whole team. It's a Cox Plate. I don't think it's really sunk in yet, but you grow up watching these races, and to knock one off, it's pretty special. So.
It's incredible, mate. I know you're emotional, and you deserve to be, because this is a race that, like other great races, but this one in particular, you grew up and just watching all the champions win. Yeah,
that's right. And to think, you get a horse of this calibre. I've looked after him for a bit over 2 weeks, but he's just phenomenal. He never missed a note. We're very confident with his fitness, and God. Cox Plate's unbelievable.
And for Dave Eustace, your partner, you guys are like a dynamic duo. You look like you really complement each other perfectly.
Yeah, he's great, But, you know, Dave, he's a very hard worker. He's a young bloke, and obviously, we gel well together. But the whole team, really, you know, that's a big operation. I've got my brother up in Ballarat. We've got the Sydney stable, and, you know, I better give my mum and dad a shout out too. My brothers and sisters, brothers. Sorry, I don't have any sisters.
That's what the Cox plate does to you, mate.
No, but it's unbelievable. So, it's Bossy.
It is just absolutely brilliant. I'll let you go, Kieran. Great stuff.
Wonderful interview. It's racing at its best there, Michael.
Oh, unbelievable. And I should have videoed Winksy watching that race. You've composed yourself now, James. Glenn Boss gave you a huge shout out. You've been integral in this. What does this moment mean to you, James?
Oh, I've got mixed emotions, to be honest. Obviously, my career ended 3 months ago, and I've got into a role, and it's very satisfying, to be honest, and a little bit emotional. I don't know why, I'm just a little bit emotional. Johnny O'Neill was great for me during my career, and he asked me to do a job, and it's come off, and it was just important that Bossy expressed what I told him about the horse, that he could maintain a gallop, and that's how he rode him. He's a freak at this situation. It's just great that it's paid off.
I guess the emotion is you've retired from the saddle, and it's still raw, isn't it? Emotion? Yeah. But yes, you've been part of a very big project, so you're still part of something that, from your previous career now, I guess that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Cox Plate's one race I didn't have a ride in, and I remember when Saintly won it, it was a race I always wanted to have a ride in. I never did it, but to be a part of it, and just to know what I told Bossy, I said to him, he switched on a lot. I said he will lack that burst of speed, but if you can get him to maintain a gallop, that's where his best asset was, and he uninterrupted run, and he was just so solid through the line. So
he executed your advice to the T.
Well, not really. He's a freak at it, like I said last night, he doesn't care, and it's not that he doesn't care in a bad way. He doesn't care how the race will unfold. He just lets it unfold, and that's why he's so good at it. And you've got to have the horse to be able to manoeuvre, but once he got him in that flying line, it was important that he didn't stop him, because his greatest attribute is he can maintain a gallop, and like he was running through further than any, and he's a Melbourne Cup horse for sure.
Well, that's the other thing. The story might not be over. I mean, he'll be favourite for the Melbourne Cup now.
Well, he'll be definitely high up in the market. Dean Lester joins us. Dean, what a Cox Plate 100. What are your thoughts post-race?
There was just so much to take in, Michael. First thing I learnt that Kieran Maher hasn't got a sister, so that was, even though he thanked her. So that was fantastic. Best interview ever. But it was on the track, it was a great race, and the boys have executed a magnificent plan with Sir Dragonet there. He was just picked his way through. He found the right horse at about the 600 in Armoury, picked his way through, then went inside him, and then he was just magnificent to the line. Just watching the replay over and over already, the one that was genuinely unlucky was Arcadia Queen. She nearly, he all but fell at about the 1,000 metre mark. She did an amazing job to pick herself up. And Russian Camelot, they didn't die wondering. They put him on the pace. They made the play. He ran well, but Sir Dragonet and Armoury ultimately too good.
What a freak Winks must have been. She fended off, internationals throughout those 4 years, and then Liz Crusoe, and now just the absolute dominance of these internationals, Dean. They weren't mega stars in Europe, but they've come out here and run 1-2, and all the international bred horses in the race have basically dominated. A reminder of what a great global champion she was, even though she didn't travel the world, Winks, that in her absence they come out here and they grab the race by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, absolutely. She did it 4 times, and as you said, since then it's been the Japanese and now Sir Dragonet, and another Winks involved in Sir Dragonet's win.
Absolutely. From a Melbourne Cup perspective, Russian Camelot, now Sir Dragonet heading towards the first Tuesday in November. What do you make of their Cup chances coming out of a Cox Plate?
Yeah, look, I think Sir Dragonet's got a great chance. Russian Camelot, I thought, he was, as I said, very similar to how Fioronte was ridden, but he claimed the 3-year-old before the turn. Of the others, there was a real divide in this race. There was 6 probably that went to the line in a group, and then the others were lamenting a fair way back. The back of the main group was probably a fierce impact, but then that other group of 7 horses there, they've been beaten 4 or 5 lengths by the main group, maybe further.
And just a word Dean, on Glenn Boss. When it comes to a big race, there is none better.
Yeah, it's it's when he gets in that bubble of the air of invincibility. It's just he fills you with confidence. It had a little bit to do with him through the time when he was riding Puissance Staloon, and you knew when he was going onto the track, you just felt at ease because he was going to get the job done, and with this horse today, he's just done the job absolutely magnificently.
Great Cox play.
Just a quick word, we got Danny O'Brien. Let's hear what he has to say about Russian Camelot.
Proud of him. He had to go forward on what was a pretty hot tempo. I think he's probably the only one that's held on from up front. But Damien gave him a superb ride from that gate, and he probably got left there a bit early too. He was a sitting shot for the two that got by him, but we couldn't have asked for a bigger effort from the horse and a better ride from Damien from that gate.
You're placed in a Cox plate, and you had a grin on your face like you'd won it almost.
Yeah, look, all you can ask is that the horse gives his best, and I think, albeit he hasn't won today, that's probably his best performance. Damien was very, very proud of him. He said he's never put in more than what he has done today. So, you can't always win, and you can only ask for 100% effort from the horse.
And as far as going forward, I know you've probably got some decisions to make. Is that the end of his campaign, or do we see him at Flemington in a Melbourne Cup?
Look, we've always thought that we would go to the Melbourne Cup, provided we're happy, and he's run out of his skin again today. So we'll see the next 10 days, but at this stage, you'll see him at Flemington on Tuesday week.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Jane.
Got a shout out to my brothers and sisters.
You really complement each other perfectly.
Yeah, Dave, he's great, But, Dave, he's a very hard worker. He's a young bloke, and obviously, we gel well together. But the whole team, really, it's a big operation. Got my brother up in Ballarat. We got the Sydney stable, and, I better give my mum and dad a shout out too. My brothers and sisters, brothers. Sorry, I don't have any sisters.
James Winks joins RSN thanks to Rendina Real Estate. Everything with our name on it sells. Rendina.com.au